Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Rassilon, the War President. For 3 colorless, 1 blue and 1 black, it's a legendary creature, Time Lord Noble, 3/4 with, at the beginning of your upkeep, you lose 2 life and exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. And then each non-creature spell you cast from exile has Conspire. And Conspire, of course, means that as you cast that spell, you may tap 2 untapped creatures you control that share a color with it. When you do, copy it, and you may choose new targets for the copy. What an absolutely cool design. What an amazing thing to bring back. Conspire is one of my favorite mechanics, and the designs in this set are just so inspired and so out there. I just love it. I'm loving this set so far, and I was absolutely not excited or hyped about it at all before, but really they're knocking it out of the park. As for this card in particular, as I've said, I just love Conspire. Shadowmoor and Lorwyn are 2 of my favorite sets, and we haven't been there for a long time, so seeing a mechanic from them return is really cool. Most of the good Conspire cards were also not in blue or black, so it's kind of like giving a fresh new look at the mechanic, and it's going to be so cool to be able to Conspire any non-creature spell. All you're going to need to do is cast it from exile. There's quite a few ways to do that in black and blue, and luckily Rassilon comes with his own enablers. It's going to exile the top card of your library and lose you 2 life at the beginning of your upkeep. Of course, you might hit land, which is a little bit awkward, but if you hit anything that's a non-creature, you can then Conspire it with whatever tokens you have lying about. It's obviously going to be incredibly disgusting to Conspire extra turn spells or stuff like Exsanguinate, but you could also play this in a much more fair way with a bunch of token makers in blue or black. You do need to remember that the tokens need to share a color with the spell you're conspiring, otherwise you can't Conspire. So that does mean that you're going to have to pay attention to something that you don't usually pay attention to, which is the color of tokens that you're making. As for other ways to exile cards, there's a ton of stuff in black these days that exiles cards from your opponent's library and allows you to play them. All of those cards are going to be fantastic in this deck because they're going to then allow you to play those cards that you've exiled and get double value out of them by conspiring them. In blue, there are quite a few things as well that allow you to steal spells. Something like Gale's Redirection comes to mind. That's also going to be very good in the 12th Doctor, which I talked about yesterday. So there's a lot of interesting options to build around and different directions to go with this card. In a way, it's a little bit of a pity that it's not red as well, because then you'd be able to hit the whole arsenal of Impulse Draw, and there's a lot of those effects these days. But there are still, I think, enough effects in blue and black that this should be a very interesting build around. And it also means that you have to dig a little bit deeper and not just have a predetermined list. You're going to have to work hard to get the value, but when you do, it's going to be really sweet. And let's not forget that it provides card advantage by itself, even without anything else, which is obviously very powerful. I don't know, I just think this design is, again, amazing and just so out of the box, so unique. I've revisited a mechanic that we've barely ever seen in the history of Magic, and there's been so many of those in this set that it's just shaping up to be one of the best sets we've seen in a long time for Commander. I'm really excited about building decks with all of these new commanders. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care. Woo!